So what I wanted to talk about in this video was my experience taking the MSF course. Now, it is the end of September right now, and I took the course in the third week of August. So it's been about a month since I've taken the MSF course, and since I've been riding a motorcycle. So it's all still fresh in my mind. The MSF course I thought was a wonderful thing to be doing, especially for a beginner rider like myself who has never ridden a motorcycle before, has never ridden a dirt bike before. I feel like I learned so much from it. And within a month of riding, has definitely saved me from making a lot of mistakes that I probably would have made had I've been self-taught, or had I been a permit rider with no previous experience. The good things about taking the MSF course is that you can skip completely over your permit. So upon completion of the course, you will you'll take all your paperwork to the DMV, and what they're going to do, they're going to issue you a permit. So you'll get the permit, but literally within 10 seconds they'll transfer it over to a license. It's just the process that they have to go through. They have to issue a permit before they can give you the actual license, but it's all done within 10 seconds. So the MSF course is an all-day thing. You are going to be waking up at 6 in the morning, and you'll probably be there until 5 in the afternoon. That's what it was originally scheduled for mine, but we actually got out a little bit earlier due to the fact that there were only 5 people in my class, 5 people total. Most times you'll have 15 or 20 people in your class. But I actually enjoyed having a smaller class because our instructor was able to kind of focus on each individual person a little bit more than had he been instructing in a 20-person class. First day of class, what we did was just basically sit in a classroom. He threw up a PowerPoint, and he just went over just the basics of riding. So there is classroom time with it. So we threw up a PowerPoint. Everyone's taking notes, getting in as much information as they could. Now, you guys may not like sitting in class, but it's definitely something that you should do, because at the end of the MSF course, there's 2 tests you have to take. You have to take a rider's test, and you got to take a written test. So all that classroom time is teaching you is how to pass your written test, and it definitely helped. So then for the second half of the first day, we were actually out on the course riding, which of course was the best part of the class, was actually being able to ride a bike for the first time. And when we first went out riding, he just went through all the basics. He went through starting up your bike, what side of the bike you want to get on, working the kickstand, just all the basics. And then we got into riding. So then he taught us about the friction zone with the clutch. He taught us about using throttle, taught us all the gears, and then it was just a slow progression into actually riding. I would say within an hour of actually being out riding, of being on the bikes, we were actually riding. It wasn't just trying to find out the friction zone of the clutch. We were actually out riding, which was pretty awesome. So that was basically the first day. It was classroom time and then just an introduction to riding. So the second day, I took a 2-day course. So the second day, we started out riding. And we finished going through all the lessons that he had. So there were, I believe that there were 9 total lessons. There were 9 total riding lessons that he had to go through. So we got 5 done the first day, and then we had to do 4 the next day. So we finished up doing the lessons, and then after that, like immediately after doing the lessons, we took the rider's test on the course. Now, the rider's test, it was very simple. It was, the first thing you had to do was a figure 8 on your bike. And that was within a box the size of about 4 parking spots. The next thing we had to do was basically avoiding an obstacle, just like swerving out the way. So once you finished your figure 8, we immediately went into avoiding an obstacle. So you would get up to second gear, going as fast as you can towards a set of cones, and then you would swerve out the way at the last second. The next test that we had was a brake test. It was basically getting up to second gear on your bike, riding as fast as you could towards a set of cones, and then stopping in the shortest amount of time possible. So the fourth and final test that we had to do was just turning, just going through some curves, and then also coming to a stop at the end of the curve. And that was it. I'm only gonna get hit by a moving wall. It was, all we did was do 9 lessons, and then we were tested on 4 of them. Then after that, he told everyone who passed. Everyone in my class passed. Some kid got a perfect score, which was, it's always nice to see. Then immediately after that, we went right back into the classroom. So we finished up the PowerPoint, then right after that, we took our written test. And now that one, everyone was nervous on. We all knew we could ride well enough to pass the test, because we were going through the course for just hours and hours during the day, and everyone was comfortable riding. It was just a test. We didn't know what kind of questions we were gonna get or anything, but honestly, the MSF course really prepares you to take that test. Go through all the answers leading up to, like, the 2 days leading up to that, because he's doing a PowerPoint with all the answers, and he's teaching you right before you take the test. So it's not like he teaches you and then you take the test like a week later. It's he teaches you and then you take the test like 5 seconds later. So we took the test, everyone passed that, and then he hands us all the paperwork that we need, which was a card showing, like, it was a card proving that we passed the course, and then some other paper, I forgot what it was. I think it was some sort of paper we could give to the our insurance. And then that was the end of the course. Then we all left. I went straight to the DMV and spent the rest of my day getting all that stuff done, which was a pain. If you've ever been to the DMV before, you know they take forever with everything. And it was just a big process for me specifically. And I can get into all that in a different video. And what really makes the MSF course such an enjoyable time is that you're surrounded by a group of people who all have the same goal. Like, everyone just has the same goal. You all come from different backgrounds, you're all different people, you all have different interests, but you all share the same interest in riding a motorcycle. And that's really what made it so enjoyable. It was just a couple people that all had the same goal in mind. And we had a pretty cool instructor. Overall, taking that course is the best decision you will ever make when it comes to riding, especially as a beginner. So if I had to recommend to anybody, whether you are a beginner or you're the most experienced rider out there, I would without a doubt recommend that everyone should take the MSF course. Because even if you are an experienced rider, there's always something that you can learn. The two best things is that you get your license right out of it, and you get discounting your insurance, and those are two things that you cannot beat. So the MSF course, 10 out of 10, would definitely recommend.